Bring Your Brain Boxing here, folks. So I see some concerned fans online here thinking that Manny Pacquiao is for some reason overlooking Yordenis Ugas, and I can't help but ask, what have you seen in the final days of training camp or in the comments from Team Pacquiao and Manny himself that have suggested such a thing? Now, I've seen Pacquiao's last days. I think the Monday, this Monday was the final full day of training camp at Wildcard, and he looked just as focused and locked in as ever. I mean, after his run on Monday, there's that picture circulating online of him with his shirt off, and you see the cut and lean physique. The guy's 42 years old with still an 8 pack of abs. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. He's a freak of nature. And I see the same level of intensity and dedication in camp than what I've seen earlier in the weeks prior when he still had Spence in line. And I think fans do not need to worry about that. And as far as the preparations go, as far as Freddie Roach and whatnot, Freddie has spent the last couple of weeks, or not the last couple of weeks, the last week studying different tapes of Ugas, and I think that he's going to be ready for the different style that Ugas presents. Freddie Roach talked about how he's not as front foot heavy, he's not as aggressive, he's more of a technical counterpuncher. This is what Freddie Roach said. Now, I've actually seen a lot of people say the same thing about Ugas. He's a counterpuncher, but I don't really see that. I think of a counterpuncher, I think of someone like Floyd Mayweather or Juan Manuel Marquez, who sets traps and is baiting guys into getting out of position and countering with a hard, crisp shot. Ugas likes to kind of lean into the pocket. He's not really operating on the outside, looking to lull you into a shot. He kind of likes to be in that pocket area and exchange. Now, he's probably a little bit more technical with Errol Spence, but that's just because Errol Spence is one of the most aggressive offensive fighters in all of boxing, who's super front foot heavy and likes to walk you down and beat you down. So to say Ugas is not as aggressive as Errol Spence isn't saying much because Errol Spence is hyper aggressive. I do not see this counterpunching element being a problem for Manny Pacquiao. Ugas, to me, the most dangerous part of his game is perhaps maybe when he does decide to be explosive, he likes to kind of jump in and throw hard body shots. I saw against Sean Porter, he did a lot of good body work in that fight, and Manny Pacquiao at his age cannot afford to get touched up to the body. But also on that same note, when was the last time you saw Manny Pacquiao really get torched to the body? I mean, the guy jumps around, he has that awkward style, the herky-jerky style, and the body is often hard for opponents to find. We don't see it happen very often. So, with that being said, guys, I know Freddie Roach has done his homework. He knows that Errol Spence and Ugas present two different styles. Manny Pacquiao has the same level of intensity in training camp, and I just don't see any way that Manny Pacquiao could lose this fight besides the possibility that he can get old overnight, which was the reason why the fight has to play out. I mean, I could tell you that, Pacquiao and Roach are super prepared. Ugas is a clear tier below. He's a B-level welterweight. But the fight still has to be fought because the ultimate question is, at 42 years of age, does Manny Pacquiao still have the same juice? Does he have the same ability that he had against Keith Thurman? We'll have to wait and find out because, Father Time is undefeated, and I do think Pacquiao will win, but you never know what could happen. We need to see it play out. But anyways, folks, just some closing thoughts on this Pacquiao-Ugas fight. I do believe that Ugas is durable. I think that the fight will not be a knockout. I have actually kind of a bad gut feeling that this could be a boring fight. I think early on, Pacquiao could blitz Ugas, and you'll see the discrepancy in foot speed and hand speed as well. Pacquiao might tag Ugas a little bit, and what might end up happening is Ugas could use his reach and his size to kind of, make it a boring fight. He could slow things down a little bit if he wants to play the grab game, the clinch game, and try to wrestle with Manny Pacquiao. It could be an ugly fight if Ugas decides to make it so, but I have a bad feeling that early on, Pacquiao's going to let off steam. He's going to be ripping combinations, and Ugas might not want that work. He might want to make it a boring, dull fight. And, a lot of fans are expecting to see a good show. I have a bad feeling that Ugas could stink it up here, guys. Some people are considering this fight to be a Joshua Clottey type of fight. I think Ugas is going to be more keen on fighting than Clottey was. Clottey was just there for the paycheck. But I just have this feeling that we might not see a lot of action after Ugas tastes the power of Manny Pacquiao. He might just be content to be there. We're seeing a lot of Ugas quotes. He speaks Spanish, so his translator has to tell us what he's saying. But along the lines of he's been saying, "Oh, I'm just honored to be in the ring. I'm happy to be here." And that's just not exactly encouraging for as a fan to see, because I saw the press conference yesterday and Ugas just looks like a fan. He looks like he's awestruck. And sometimes when you get guys who are just stunned by the moment, they freeze. They're just not able to put on a good show. I saw many Manny Pacquiao fans who were clearly nervous, like Brandon Rios, Chris Algieri, who just made for not very entertaining fights because they just were out of their element. Anyway, folks, I think Pacquiao's got this. I think he's going to win by decision. And what's going to be interesting is that Sean Gibbons, one of the head honchos at MP Promotions, has already gone on record and said if Pacquiao wins, he's coming back in the fall of 2021. He's not waiting till 2022. He's going to want to get back right there again in the fall, October, November maybe, which is crazy. He might be out of his mind for saying that, because I don't think Pacquiao has ever, as his time as like a top shelf pound for pound fighter, has had a fight that close together. But like, this is online. Look up Sean Gibbons, MP Promotions. He said yesterday that he'll get Pacquiao back in the ring in the fall if he beats Ugas. Crazy thought. But first we got to get past this Saturday. Yordenis Ugas, tough fighter, good boxing skills, good body shots, decent power, but Pacquiao is way faster than this guy. I don't see any special attributes from Ugas. B-level fighter, should never actually be the WBA champ in the first place, but expect Pacquiao to outbox him. Anyway, folks, tell me what you guys think. Do you think Manny Pacquiao's overlooking Ugas? I certainly don't think so. But anyway, looking forward to this Saturday. Bring your rain. Checking out, folks.